Good morning everybody and welcome back. This is a long-awaited video, something that I'm very excited about. So it was Becca's birthday a couple of weeks ago. She's always wanted to do the NC500. I went and did it last year, but to be fair, we flew around it with the lads in the cars, and to be fair, there wasn't much scenery to be seen because we just kind of drove the fast roads and it was good. But obviously, I think it's something in, might sound like an old man, as a relationship. I think if you're into cars and scenery, if you like nice places, I think this is a trip that everybody should do, us included. It's 5:20. We were supposed to be away at 5 o'clock, but typical, Becca forgot the iron, forgot a phone charger, needed a bath, needed to do a tan, so it took us a while to obviously get away, but we're ready to go now. We have reset the mileometer in the car to see exactly how many miles that we're actually going to cover today. It's going to be a lot. Like the first day is a bit of a monster. So the Isle of Skye, it's like 7.5 hours. So I'll keep the introduction brief. It's going to be quite a long video. This, I know a lot of people are interested in NC500, so I just thought it would be interesting to do a video and show you our stops and how we've planned it out and stuff in the hotel. So it's a good insight for people if you want to do the NC500. Weapon of choice today, of course, we've took the Porsche, we took the 987 convertible, praying for sunshine and good weather. We have woke up this morning after spending 2 hours yesterday vaulting the car, so the car was mint, waxed it, done the wheels, got everything right. Woke up this morning, it's pissing down. So that's the introduction. We'll get in our way now. Becca's just getting in the car, and then we'll update you as we get through the stops. So here we are. This is our first little break. Just gives you an idea, man. This is just off the main road, so honestly, it's just peace and tranquility. It's absolutely mint. Just a beautiful place. Yes, typical of Scotland, as you can see by the video. It's absolutely pissing down. Scotland, in a funny way, is kind of like Ibiza, in the way of, if you go to Ibiza, at some point you're going to encounter music. If you go to Scotland, at some point, you're going to encounter rain. So yeah, so obviously I'll just take you up to the little sign. So we're just walking back to the car park. Obviously a few things that ticked me off this morning. The first one is the lovely Porsche that I spent probably 3 or 4 hours cleaning yesterday. It was a waste of time because it's minging already. So no nice photographs of our little 987. But this one here, if you're looking for a stop point on the way up to Glencoe, I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Loch Lubnaig, part of the Loch Lomond National Treasure Park, as it says on there. But this is a good little stop. So again, all I'm going to do is just build this up through the video and show you where we stopped and stuff, so you've got points for reference. I know a lot of people who I know locally and obviously on the YouTube channel are looking to do the NC500, so the pointers and tips will just help you. But yeah, it's beautiful. I'll just keep this one brief because we're going to have a few stops, but this is a cracking point to stop. Obviously you've got a little cafe there as well, which is worth a visit. Teas and coffees in there, and obviously if you've got a woman like mine who has the bladder of a 3-month-old baby, she also likes to have a little wee every now and then. So there she is, looking very sexy in her pink coat. You what? So yeah, on to point number 2. So next we're going to head up to a place at Glencoe. I forget the name of the hotel, which I'll show you when we get there. And this is where people go to visit the wild stags, where you can feed them the stag and deer. So we're going to go up to there. But yeah, that's Loch Lubnaig. That's our first stop point. So this is stop number 2 that I would definitely recommend doing. Now, it's going to make me look like a bit of a sod today. So basically this here is King's House Hotel, which is just before you get into Glencoe. Now the reason we decided to stay here is because there's basically wild stags and wild deer normally roam around here, and you can actually hand feed them. But unfortunately today it doesn't look like we're going to see any. I know I can't see any anywhere, but if you look on the map, King's House Hotel, and there is a good chance that you might find. So if you Google it, you'll see people actually feeding the stags and the deers just out of your hand, and they will actually eat out the palm of your hand. So if you've got kids and stuff like that, or it's just something nice to see, but unfortunately today it doesn't look like we've been so lucky. But you can see what kind of place it is. It's beautiful. It's not long before we get to Glencoe there, so I think we're about 10 miles away, but it's definitely a recommended stop. And that's just King's House, to clarify. And obviously you can see the stags and deers, but obviously we weren't as fortunate today anyway. This is kind of an unplanned stop, but to be fair, it was too nice not to stop. So this is the bridge here over at the Isle of Skye. The Isle of Skye isn't actually part of the NC500, but I mean, if you just look at how beautiful it actually is, it's such a nice place. we wanted to go to Skye because we wanted to go and see, well, my missus wanted to go and see a place called Fairy Pools, which is quite famous, quite well documented. If you're not familiar with it, if you just kind of go onto Google, type in Fairy Pools Isle of Skye, and you'll see why we're making the extra travel. It did put a bit of length on the journey, but I definitely think it's worth it. I mean, it's absolutely stunning up here. Just really, really nice. So we're just kind of winging it. We did, like I said, we didn't plan to stop here, but when we come to the bridge, we just thought it looked really, really nice and it was worth a look. And obviously everybody likes the look of a nice car in a scenic position. I'm sure I do. So yeah, so that's the bridge across to Isle of Skye. If you're not getting the ferry and you do want to go to Isle of Skye, this is the way you'll have to come. So I'm just going to keep it quiet because I don't want to look like a melt doing this video in the middle of the bar. Obviously I get quite embarrassed. So this is where we've checked into today, and this is the Cullens Hills Hotel in Portree. So obviously we've ventured off the beaten track from the NC500 and went a little bit further out. Becca wanted to go and see Fairy Pools, which is a big part of the trip, and to be fair, I did as well. This is the hotel that we picked, and to be honest with you, I'll just keep this phone a bit more steady. To be honest with you, we picked it through booking.com. There's nothing confusing about that. It's very simple and very straightforward, and you just kind of look at reviews, see where everyone else has stayed, see what they've been happy with, and this hotel, the Cullens Hotel, came up trumps, and to be honest I can see why. It's a very, very nice place, as you can see behind us, with all the whiskies and everything set out. It's just cool. Feels like a nice comfortable place to stay, and the rooms are very, very nice. Everyone's pretty friendly, and more importantly, because I'm a bit of a little girl, I don't drink a lot of beer, but I do drink a lot of cocktails when I decide to drink. So I'm just chilling with amaretto sour, which is very, very nice by the way as well. And then what I'll do is I'll flip round and we'll do another little clip, and I'll show you out the front. The view out the front of the hotel is worth paying the money for alone. It's absolutely mega. You can see right out over the bay, and I'll give you a look at the front of the hotel and stuff. But yeah, so we've basically done 367 miles today, which is a lot. If you think about doing this trip, just get booked and just do it. Every single 10-15 mile there was something new to see. Obviously the Porsche was mega, lapped up the corners, it was great down the long roads. We've seen waterfalls, mountain passes, you name it, we've done it today, and it's been wicked. I mean, we've been travelling since 5 o'clock this morning, to be fair. It doesn't even feel like we've been driving that long, because obviously you know yourselves, when you're doing the miles but you enjoy something, it just doesn't seem like a task. It's just so nice, and it's pretty chilled out here, so we're pretty happy. So we'll cut to the next clip, and I'll show you out the front of the hotel and the views of the bay. So just to recap, it's the Cullens Hills Hotel. It's available on booking.com. It's Portree, Isle of Skye. View I was mentioning, just want to say hello to my little pal there, Bugsy, little rabbit, just sitting chilling there on his own, not a problem. This is why it's worth paying the money for this hotel. It doesn't get much better than that. I mean, I think that's mega, that's worth the money alone. I'll show you the front of the hotel. All the gardens being very well kept. It's quite a big place. The thing that I liked, obviously these chairs here, on a better day it would be mega, just sitting here, just chilling out, obviously with that kind of view. And if you want to feel like you're somebody special for a night, that's what these little holidays are for. A little app, you just scan that with your camera. You can sit there like Lord Fauntleroy and get cocktails brought out to your table while you're looking over the bay. Obviously we haven't exactly been blessed with the weather today, but that doesn't make a blind bit of difference. So I'm going to show you something which I've just found. So I don't know if anybody's in it. I'm like a bit of a tatty if someone's in it. But the Geodome. So I've just been on the website there, and apparently you can hire this out. I hope to God nobody's in here, because I'm going to feel so shit. 2 seconds. So you walk down like a little path. I put my head around the corner first. Oh, there's nobody in it. Nice little chilly seat there, if you want to look at bushes. So this here is called the Geodome. So if you want, you can go on the website, and regardless of weather, you can hire this place out, and obviously sit and chill, and the view down here is much better. I have to be careful, because I don't know if I'll get wrong for being in here without booking it. Does that zip work? My eye. So in here, cosy like. It's quite nice, obviously fully air conditioned. It smells mega in here, believe it or not. Nice little lamp there, aircon unit, a few tunes if that's what you're into. And that's available to hire at the hotel as well. Just an idea of what you're going to get if you book here. But yep, that's it. Cullens Hills Hotel, Portree. Day 2 for us. And today we're going to Fairy Pools. Becca wanted to go here for our birthday. It's one of the main reasons we travel all this way. It's absolutely thinking with midgies. I'm being pit to death. I'm sick of my life being on the car for 5 minutes and I've had enough. But we're here, so I'm making sure that we see everything. We're going all the way to the top. We stayed at the hotel last night. It was absolutely mega. It was mint. Such a nice place. Even down a little bit, like the bread was still warm, the pastries were warm this morning. I think it's the little things that kind of help make the trip more enjoyable. The staff couldn't do enough for you. It's a big hotel. Yeah, so Fairy Pools, obviously on the internet. I mean, I've heard a lot of people say it's beautiful. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, it's not what it's meant to be. But you know, we wanted to come and see it, so that's why we're here today. So from Fairy Pools, obviously this is the start of it in the background. And obviously we've got to go all the way up the top there as well. From here, we go into a place called Applecross Pass, which is famous for Top Gear, obviously. It would be, wouldn't it, to see it on there. So if you search a place called Black Nabar, that's where we go today. If you come into Fairy Pools, it's been, there's a proper car park just over the road, which you can park in. It's a £5. It's definitely worth the trip. We'll put a few clips in as we get to the top, and we'll show you the rest of Fairy Pools. So this is the beautiful Fairy Pools everybody gets excited about after watching me step. Otherwise I might be going for a bit of a dip. See, obviously it gets quite steep over here. All the way down. There's loads of little waterfalls, a beautiful place. On nice days people go swimming in here, but that won't be me today, I don't think. I forgot my speedos, but it's a lovely, lovely place. Just do a quick one here. This is the very famous Applecross Pass, as featured in Top Gear, and you can see why. Absolutely amazing up here. What a nice place. Well, this is right off the beaten track, up and into the hills, and obviously you drive up that way there, right the way up through there, them little waterfalls are. But this is definitely worth a visit. This is Applecross Pass, so if you're doing it, make sure you include this. This is just coming to the end of Applecross. We've come up through the pass, and then just coming down through the bits of hills there now. You could almost be in Monte Carlo, well, if we had a little bit of sunshine that was, but it's marvellous. Big ship there just through the middle. This is our second night hotel. So this one's called Ardvrek House, which again, obviously Booking.com is really highly recommended. And to be fair, if you look at the location, if you just pan out and just look at the location, obviously you can see why it's popular. Like, we couldn't have got any closer to the water if we tried. It's absolutely beautiful. So we're just going to check in now. Today has been a bit of a longer day, we feel. Some of the coastal roads on the way up here are dead tight, as in where you can't actually move, so you're doing 30-40 mile an hour, so it's took us a bit longer. But this is obviously our second night stay, and this is all uphill, so we're just starting to make our way up the west coast now as well. So this is Ardvrek, and I'll show you a little bit later on, but this is definitely worth the stay. And again, this is Ardvrek at Ullapool. Of our third day, this is a place that you have to come, and to be fair, I'm not going to pretend like we found it or planned it. When we were at our hotel on the first night, there was a lady behind reception asked where we were going. Obviously we were told we were heading up the coast, and she said, I think it's pronounced, is it Akmelik or Akmelvik Beach, which is what this is called. To be honest, it's like paradise. I mean, look at the white, it's white sands, green and blue waters. Honestly, if you close your eyes, I know it's Scotland this year. To be fair, Scotland has some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. I can see why now. It's absolutely gorgeous up here. Obviously on a better day with better weather, it would literally feel like you're abroad. Such a nice place. And if you look at the state, it looks like there's a campsite on the actual beach as well. So I would guess, oh, hello. So yeah, we're absolutely over the moon. This is about an hour and a half away from Ullapool, where we stayed last night. You just carry on up the coast. You come through a beautiful mountain pass, a few rivers up there, and then obviously this is where you end up. So definitely worth putting into your journey. This is a class little spot which we feel is definitely worth a stop. This is it Durness? We're out Becca now. This is it. Yeah, this is just after Durness. Now, obviously the North Coast 500 route, you cannot go wrong at signpost anyway. So if you just stick on the route, it'll bring you through the hills, out the back of Durness. And this is the beach that you're looking at, which to be fair is pretty mega as well. And this is only about an hour and a half away from that Melvik beach. I've been struggling with that for days. I'm obviously not going to get it right, am I? But another thing as well, if you're brave, nice little zip line. Those girls on there have got way more courage than what I've got. So the zip line will take you right over down to the side there, but it's not for me. This is our last stop, so we've been right up the east coast today, right round the top, across the John O'Groats, and then we've just headed back down the other side to Inverness, which is the point where we're staying tonight. This for me is probably the cream of the crop. I think this here is absolutely beautiful. Just a very nice place. Now, this is called, I think it's pronounced Daviot, D-A-V-I-O-T, Luxury Pods. Canny view as well. These are mega. I'll show you inside and everything as well. So you've got a nice little seating area. And you can see what sort of places. These are absolutely wicked. You can give me one of these over a hotel room any day of the week. Much better. Plenty of space, double bed. Shower. Don't know what that's there for. My missus only gets a shower once a year, but it is her birthday, so she might have one tonight. Nice little TV with Netflix. Got an Alexa hooked up. We've got fridge. Plenty of cupboard space. Sound like an old man, don't know what I'm on about, cupboard space. But yeah, absolutely beautiful place. As you can see from the glorious sunshine, that means we're now home. Obviously, we haven't seen much sun all weekend. We get back there where we live in Durham, and the sun's absolutely booming. But sod's law, we've still enjoyed the trip anyway. This is obviously the end of our fourth day. We haven't basically took a lot of video footage today because we were pretty knackered, to be fair. But Daviot, where we stayed last night in the last clip, the luxury pods in Inverness are absolutely wicked. We had a great time there, had a cracking sleep. And then this morning, from the accommodation, the pods, the Loch Ness is only like 20 minutes away. So we got up this morning, 8 o'clock, headed on to Loch Ness. We drove around the Loch Ness. It was really nice there, to be fair. Roads were dead nice around the outside of it as well for a nice little quick drive. And to be honest, it was just a nice place. Weather was decent. It wasn't sunny, but it was all right. But yeah, we've had a good day today. I mean, from there onwards, we just kind of plodded on. We wanted to kill some time off because obviously we've got a little girl and we needed to get back for her. She's been missing us, so obviously we've missed her as well. So we're just trying to get back for her. But once we headed down, we killed a lot of the journey off just on the main roads, and then decided to drop off onto the coastal route through Sea Houses and Bamborough Castle. So we've been through Sea Houses, Bamborough Castle, and we're just coming home now. She's popped in the house to go and get changed. We're going to have an Indian, couple of drinks, and cap the weekend off. What I would say is with the NC500 is, if I could give you any tips, was most importantly is fuel. If you're ever below half a tank, always top it up. Even if you think you're going to do fine, always keep your tank literally like full if you can, because literally some of the petrol stations are 100, 150 miles in the middle of nowhere. So always keep your fuel topped up. Another thing that worked really well for us that we weren't planning on doing, we obviously hadn't, I've done it before with the lads, but me and my missus hadn't done it together. And last time I went, I just kind of followed the boys. They planned a route out and I just kind of went with it. But we basically planned our own route out this time and we're going to stick to it. But what I would say is that one of the best parts about the trip is be prepared to kind of go off the cuff and don't stick to one route. I mean, we took a few little turns that we weren't really expecting to take. Some of the roads look nice and we just said, hey, we'll just have a go, you know. We turned off onto some unusual roads and ended up being the best part of the trip. So if you see a nice road and it looks well, don't be afraid to go and drive it and see what's at the end of it, which is what we've done. It's been pretty wicked, to be fair. Miles wise, what have we done? We've done a lot. We've done 1,316 miles back to home, so we've been pretty on it. I mean, if you work that out over 4 days, it is quite a lot of driving, but to be fair, it hasn't felt like too much. It's been pretty relaxed. Obviously, to cap the weekend off, for me personally, I believe this is one of the best driving trips anywhere. whether it be in the UK or in the world. I don't know. I haven't done enough around the world. I haven't travelled that far just yet. I think we're going to do Route 66 next year. But in terms of trips in the UK, you won't better the NC500. It's a phenomenal trip. So obviously, hopefully you can take some stuff from this video. When I was looking to do the NC500, there wasn't a lot of information available online. So hopefully this might help you with a few points and a few little tips here and there, and it might help you plan your journey a little bit better. But that's all for us. I'll sign off there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Any comments in the videos about where we've stayed or what we've done or what route we've taken, I'll try my best to answer everything. So if you've got any queries, feel free to pop it in the comment section at the bottom of the video. But thanks for tuning in, and that's the end of our NC500 trip.